Fitzgerald. I work for Farm Animal Rights Movement on their 10 Billion Lives tour. And my talk is going to be about how I spent 9.5 months this year living on the road. Thank you. Yeah. And what I learned. Okay. So, about a year ago now, how can I say this? Okay. This was the look on my grandmother's face when I told her I was moving to Southern California to live in this van with this guy. And that we would spend our days on college campuses paying people $1 to watch a 4-minute video about how animals are treated on farms. That in the evenings we would shower here and eat just about every vegan option in the greater Southern California area. And that come evening, we would find a new place to call home every night. And it looked a lot like this. Needless to say, she wasn't happy. But I did it so I could run into people like Jennifer, who said, this is going to go down as one of those moments that changes my life. Thank you. And then the next day, find her outside the campus bookstore with a bunch of books on veganism. To be absolutely honest, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But from my first day on tour in August to my last this May, I learned a lot about why young adults are really important to this movement and what we can do to bring them in. So, why do we go to college campuses? Why does Farm take this tour to college campuses? We also take it to work tour, but I'm not on work tour, so I'm talking about the college part. Basically, taking education to an educational setting is pretty brilliant, right? So these students are already open-minded because they're learning new things every day. So they're idealistic, they're dreamers, they're willing to change, they're impressionable, and not only that, but they're likely not to have the same obstacles as people younger than them who might have parents who are like, no, just no, we're not going vegan. Or someone who might be older that might have a spouse that's like, no, just no, we're not going vegan. So, they're at a time in their life where they can make more independent decisions about their lifestyle choices, and that makes them our prime target. Not to mention, they are in a setting where problems like these are already being discussed, right? Problems, their solutions. Every day we talk to students who told us about how they just discussed methane in their environmental studies class, or how their philosophy professor was discussing the morality of eating meat. On top of that, there's student groups on campuses that can join us, and having your peers talk to you is far more entertaining than having pretty much anyone else talk to you. I have to give a shout out to Becky and Jack in the back there. Becky came out to volunteer with us in San Diego. We met Jack that same day, and they have started a animal rights group on their campus. So this stuff really works. We're helping make some connections. And yeah, so this is the UC Davis group. This was a group at LA Valley College. It was just some kids that came by and they met us, and they were so, LA Valley College, yeah. They were so excited that they came and joined us that day. The next day, they only tore themselves away from us to go make posters for a protest they were organizing. There's amazing people on campus, and it is so much better to have these kids talking to them. Let's see, this was a professor on the same campus that gave kids extra credit to come watch our video. So, if you can get in touch with professors that are discussing these subjects, it's just a really, really great place to be. We're not the first people often to be bringing them this information, but more often than not, we're the people that are suggesting solutions to a lot of this stuff, especially veganism. So, also, this guy was great. He was pulling dining. He had taken out the pizza and the burger joints at his school and was putting in veg-friendly restaurants. This is at Cerritos College, which Vic would know where that is, somewhere in LA. I don't remember. Okay. They also respond well to imagery, right? This group, they're angry, they're saddened, and they're ready to take action. A little bit of that. That's how we spend our days, watching people do this. But really, really great about college campuses and why we end up there is, where in the world can you go where people have 4 minutes to spare, right? Nobody acts like they ever have 4 minutes to spare, but these kids have time. Between their classes, during lunchtime, they're willing to wait in line. They want to make $1. $1 is exciting to them, which is awesome. And so it just ends up being a really great place for us to go. So Oh, and I was going to talk about how we also have access to their friends. So the cool thing about this is a girl that watched the video, brought her boyfriend so he could watch it. She's reading a vegan outreach guide to cruelty-free eating, and he, just about 5 seconds after this, proclaimed, "This looks like the Holocaust." So lots of friends here. These guys watched it one day on campus. The next day they saw we were here. They immediately went to go get their friend and bring her to watch it. This guy watched it and 10 minutes later came back and made his friend watch it, and he said he wanted to watch it again to make sure he had the information correct. We didn't give him an extra $1. He wasn't trying to be cheeky or anything. Okay, so we figured out that we should go to college campuses. Now how do we get the college students to watch it? Well, we use flashy equipment. We make it known that we're paying them $1. And we've created a unique and exciting experience. A lot of the college campuses that we end up on are community colleges. They don't have the same flashy stuff coming their way. And so this is cool, this is fun. Like I said, $1 is still valuable to them. The number of times we heard, $1? Is it real? Like a real dollar? Todd's laughing, it was our whole life, every day, all day, every day. But the dollar incentive actually has 2 purposes. So 1, it brings in the viewers, and 2, it keeps them there. This creates a captive audience. We know this video isn't easy to watch, right? Most people, if they weren't getting something out of it, I hate to say it, would probably likely walk away. So this $1 is keeping them captive so that they can get to the point of the video that's positive, the point of the video that talks about, okay, so we've discussed why this is so horrific, now let's talk about what we can do about it, and obviously we're talking about going vegan. These girls were my favorite. They couldn't get any farther away. And if someone really doesn't have the time to watch the video, or they truly can't, they just can't handle that kind of graphic imagery, because there is graphic imagery, we give them a leaflet, and the leaflet has the same information, and they can watch the video on a website on the back. So, viewers, they finish the video and they want their $1. And so they have to come up to you to get the $1, which creates an incredible opportunity for us to have a conversation with them, right? I'm going to hold on to that $1 until I talk to them and figure out how they felt about this. There we go. Honestly, for many viewers, the follow-up conversation is just as important, if not more important, than watching the video. My favorite example of this is a guy that finished the video and said, I don't care. I don't care about animals, I don't care about meat, I don't care about any of it. And after our 3-minute conversation, he said to me, I don't think I can go vegan, but I'm going vegetarian. And that is the power of communication, of figuring out what is stressing this person out about going vegan. Why does this feel overwhelming to them? How can I relate them to our movement? Because everyone has a link to why this is important, even if it's just as basic as their health. So, how do we structure these conversations? Well, the number 1 thing to remember to do is to let the viewer do the majority of the talking, right? We're trying to get verbal commitments out of these people. We don't want to talk at them and be like, so you're going to go vegan, right? And they're like, yeah. We want them to talk about what they can do, and it oftentimes isn't that they're going to go vegan right away. We've already gotten a written commitment from them. At the end of the video, we ask them to pledge to a certain number of days a week that they can eat animal-free meals. We're really successful. 80% of people pledge at least 1 day a week. They're going to try meat out Mondays. And then when we follow up with them in a month, 60% of those people have kept that pledge, so that's pretty cool. So where do we start? You want to get on their level. This is Todd and I trying to get on their level and figure out what matters to them. The number 1 thing that you start asking is, well, how did that make you feel? That's a great opener, right? This gets them talking and acknowledging their reaction to the video. And from that, you can gauge where you want to take this conversation. But even if they're like, they don't care, it doesn't mean you let them go. And you're just like, okay, cool, yeah, no, you try to figure out what is it that they care about. Sometimes you have to do more guiding of the conversation for certain. Some people, they've never met a vegan, so they don't even know what to ask you. They don't even really sometimes know what vegan is, right? It really depends on where these people are coming from, and we're going to schools in all types of neighborhoods and demographics, and so you're really reaching a really wide audience. But you just talk to them. You tell them about veganism. You break stereotypes by being friendly and open-minded and non-judgmental. It's probably the most important thing we do is we go out there and we try and be as real as we can with them. All right, there we go. Let's see here. here. So if not, if they're not, and I'm sure you guys have already heard this in many places, the environment and health are obviously two important factors. So if someone's really, really not into animals, you can talk about that. But you don't have to downplay your veganism at all. You don't have to pretend like that's not what you want. You're just empowering them to figure out where they want to start, right? The last thing we're going to say is, great, you need to go home, you need to empty your cupboards, you need to take off those shoes, you need to get rid of that jacket, you probably should throw out all your cosmetics and all your beauty supplies. The number one thing you're going to do is say, well, where do you want to get started? How do you want to get going with this? And then they give you an answer, and from that answer, you can create a plan for them. So say they say, oh yes, I've heard of this Meatless Mondays thing. I'm going to try this Meatless Monday thing. Our response would be, awesome, that's so great. You know, you can do that for about maybe like a month. Try that for a month, and then move to Tofu Tuesdays. And then after that, you can go to No Way Wednesdays, and you make it a joke, and you make it fun, and they get it in their heads that, okay, I can start here, and I can move here and here. The end goal, obviously, is veganism, but we're not sending them away thinking that that is the only thing that can happen. I wasn't born vegan, I didn't go vegan overnight. Telling them that makes you real to them. You know, it's okay, she's not judging me, I can do this. This guy was epic. His parents owned a Mexican restaurant in Sacramento, so he took a bunch of literature to go talk to them about how he could add vegan options to their restaurant. This is an ex-slaughterhouse worker. He's a pretty incredible man. He worked there to support his family. He didn't have any other choice when he was living in Texas. When he made enough money to move to California, his entire family went vegan. It's just some kids showing each other some support while they watch this. It is not, as we all know, it is not easy to watch this stuff. Let me see where I'm at with this. Okay, good. This guy's Dennis. He saw us on campus and immediately started helping us. He went to his classes and afterwards would jump back out and help us. I mean, we create a really unique situation for people that are vegan to have someone in their community coming out and reaching out to them. A lot of you might know Moo. Here's Moo showing a student food on his phone. Yeah, Moo. This is great. I mean, they oftentimes don't know that they can still eat a burrito. You just take off that chicken and not add guacamole. That blows people's minds when they find out that they're not going to be eating salads for the rest of their lives. There's Steven, our MFA intern. He used to come out and help us. Thank you, Steven. Angie, I don't know if she's here. I was trying to do some love. Okay, so I'm not going to really go into the main obstacles because John and Stephanie talked about some of that stuff. Obviously, we hear a lot. I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be expensive. And, well, I'm only one person. What can I do? I originally was going to talk a little bit about that stuff, but I think there are a lot of 10 Million Lives Tour staff in here. Can I get the 10 Million Lives Tour staff to stand up? Come on, do it. I know you're here. In the back. Ryan, Amanda, Monica, Todd, thank you. Since we don't have time to go over all this stuff, these people are incredible resources too. Oh, Jessica. Hi, thank you. No, well, everyone's pretty much ex at this point. I'm not on payroll at the moment. So, yeah, these people are incredible resources to you. I can't answer probably all the questions right now, even though I kind of wanted to go into some of this stuff. But if you see them around, ask them your questions. If you have something that someone in your family bugs you about, they're mean to you about over the dinner table, we've heard everything 100,000 times over. So we have good answers and we have good ways to figure out how to maybe get someone to soften their blow and come over to the fun side. All right, we'll go through some of these. Let's see. Okay. This was great. We went to San Francisco City College in August when I started. When we came back in May, there was a vegan burger on the menu. That was awesome. This is the all-vegan dining hall at UC San Diego. That line went outside the door. It was amazing. This is a mother-daughter couple that, mother-daughter people that we met on campus. She's been vegan since birth. It was a really great experience to meet her. Okay, so, even though at the end of the day, this is what we look like when we leave campus and we pack up and we go home, we're not leaving, thank you, we're not leaving them without support, right? So we've taken their first names and their emails. That's to send follow-up surveys that help us gauge how well we're doing, how many animals. We also send them an 8-week course that walks them through how to go vegan in a slow but chill, good way. We send them a Meet Out Mondays newsletter. There is a website, Live Vegan, that we send them to. And then, oh, I lost a slide. We give them a coupon for Tofurkey to try. Trader Joe's are generally in the Southern California area. It works out very well that we can send them to Trader Joe's and tell them that for $1.99 they can go get 4 sausages and 120 grams of protein. That matters for a lot of them. So is it effective? I am super proud to stand up here and say yes, this work is incredibly effective. We spare 13 animals per dollar that we spend. So for $10, that's 130 animals. That's more than you can do in a year as a vegan. You can come out on tour with us for an hour and help spare more animals than you can spare on your own in an entire year. It's an amazing way to spend your time. Let's see. This shirtless man at Cal Poly, immediately wanted to go vegan. That was pretty awesome. Oh, here's my Tofurkey kid. We were doing a Thursday, Friday, Monday, and he came back on Monday and told us, guys, try that Tofurkey. It was awesome. It was super good. It was great. And he would love to come up to us and tell us this stuff. They wanted to tell us how well they were doing. But the best thing about tour was having multiple days, oftentimes that spanned a weekend, and hearing, well, I tried this recipe, or I found this thing, and I got this book, and I watched this movie. It's amazing. We're making real change here. We're just not always there to meet them later and find out what's going down. This guy came to give me a high five because he'd been vegan for 24 hours when we came back on campus the second day. Yes, I love it. This girl had gone home and shown the video to her husband, who said he would be down to do every day of the week but one. She said she was like, all right, I'm going to do this vegan thing. And then she started thinking, God, I love fish. So she went home and Googled fish videos, YouTube fish videos, and she was done. That was it. You know, people can empower themselves, really. It's amazing. These girls came back after lunch to let us know that instead of fried chicken and I forget what else, they had gotten almonds and cranberries. This guy's holding up number 3 because he had been vegan for 3 days by the time we saw him again. So please come and join us. There's something everyone can do here, right? You don't need experience, we will set you up. This girl joined us on the spot, she's a vegan in Sacramento. This is a friend of ours, a professor at Cal Poly. He is a friend of ours now, but we just met him there, and he came out and helped. You're not too young, you're not too old, you can just hold the sign. If you don't want to talk to people, that's okay, that can be really intimidating sometimes, so you can just hold the sign, although this is Carrie and she does a lot more than hold the sign. You can just hand out leaflets, if all you want to do is hand out leaflets. We have 3 tours at the moment. We have a national tour that goes all around the country. I'll be on that in the fall. We have a Southwest tour. We're starting with an East Coast tour. So wherever you are, let us know. Probably coming to a city near you. I just want to give a shout out to these road warriors. They're not here at this conference because they're out there doing the real thing for the animals. This is the Warped Tour crew, and this is the Southwest crew. These are past crew members. Look at that girl on the left. So good. You learn from each other, you make a lot of friends. My first conversation was probably horrific. I'm sure Andy would love to retell me how bad it was. You just have to go out there and want to make changes, and you will change the world. Yeah. And you want to host us. You can host us too. That's something you need to know. Best thing we hear every day. Pretty good. And I just want to end with saying, this really is a social revolution, and it's really up to us to really talk and communicate. This is me when I was 19 with my friend Pete, the first person who really got me thinking about aligning my morals with my actions in terms of food. I don't think he knew that 8 years later to be sitting up here talking to all of you. All of our conversations matter, all of them. Even mine with my grandma, who now doesn't drink dairy milk. She's making such a 94, okay? It's a slower process, but it's happening. It's definitely happening. I want to thank all of you for you're doing it just by being vegan. You're making changes. We hear every day, oh, my cousin's vegan, or my mom's doing this vegan out Monday. Everyone is making a difference. Don't let anyone let you think that because you're not out there. I want you to come out with us, but just know that we're hearing about you all the time. Okay, so you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, 10 Million Tour. Ryan, the pretty one on the bottom, runs our volunteer program. He's in the back if you want to talk to him about it. There's his email, ryan@10billiontour.org. And there's my email if you want to send me any questions. Thank you so much.